So give it up for Daniel.
No way. Okay.
It was hard my first time without a phallic symbol.
Kanye West. That wasn't really a joke. That was just more like a fun social experiment. Speaking of Black Jesus, on the way over here, I got an Uber driver who just happened to have a manual car, and he thought, oh, no way.
It doesn't work.
That's so
You're not going to get louder. But
anyway, he thought that that shit was NASCAR. He was shifting all over the place. I'm in the back. We make eye contact in the mirror. I'm adjusting my hair. He's like, bro, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm getting ready to meet God. See a lot of you drinking alcohol tonight? Alcohol is always fun. I'm 20, so I can't drink alcohol, but you know what it's today. Didn't you guys remember the first time you got like drunk? Not like you took one of your dad's beers and you drank it in your room over 4 hours while watching CSI and thinking you were grown. Like, not like that. I'm talking like fucking shit-faced. Because I remember the first time that I got shit-faced, and let me paint you a picture. I was 15, living in Arizona with my family, but my dad's side of the family lived in New Mexico. And the plan was, we were all supposed to go over there for one of my cousin's graduations, but my mom couldn't make the trip for whatever reason, and I was going to take advantage of that shit so hard, because she was usually the barrier between me and doing dumb shit with my cousins, but when we found out that she was going, that shit was on. So me, my dad, my 8-year-old brother, and my 6-year-old sister pack our shit into our super sexy 2014 Honda Odyssey minivan, and we take off to New Mexico without my mom. And it's like a 5-hour drive, but we finally get there to the super small, super country town of Regina, New Mexico. Yeah, it's just vagina with it all. And we get there and we say hi to my family and all that. And we go to the graduation and like that was fun. And then there was an after party. And it was at my Uncle Dustin's house. We call him Stinky. That's not important, but you should know. And the way it is, it's in the country, so there's nothing. It's his house and then just space. So there were tables with drinks and food and dessert and 4 kegs. Those are important. Keep track of those. And since my mom wasn't there, I knew I was going to get fucked up. And it was cool because my dad was more fucked up than me, so he was not watching shit. And so it started slow. It started, you know, bending down, trying to get a little bit of beer out of the keg before my dad could see it, take that shit back and act like it was soda in the red Solo cup and it was nothing suspicious. Then that shit escalated so fast. I don't know how it happened because that shit's kind of blurry the whole night in general, but somehow I ended up with a whole handle of Crown Apple. If you don't know what that is, it's the big glass one with a handle so you don't fucking drop it because it's so heavy. And I was just taking pull after pull after pull on that shit, like, man. And that's when I found out that the whole party, all these kids that graduated, was moving to a second location at a bar in the middle of fucking Regina, New Mexico. So that was the red flag to start. And they called it a dance because this was our excuse to leave all of our parents and go act like drunk degenerates together with all of the neighboring towns people at one place. So I didn't tell my dad, and me and my cousin who had just graduated, and like 3 of his buddies, got in the car and we drove to the dance. You can drink and drive in the country, rules are different, it doesn't matter. And so we were pounding beers in the car, and I was feeling great. We get to the dance, everything's going cool, people are dancing and shit, and then 2 rednecks get in a fight. And it's not a Regina, New Mexico party until 2 rednecks come to fucking clothes while wearing Wranglers and a NASCAR t-shirt over the last pinch in a Copenhagen tin. That's fucked up. At that point in the night, I was super drunk, but like the good drunk, like right before shit gets really bad. And this was my first time drinking, so like I wasn't familiar with the And see, look, you guys know the line. It's about as thin as fucking dental floss. And on this side, fucking you're dancing, music's better, you don't give a fuck that you can't dance, and then about like a half step, you scoot over here, fucking horror. You can't see shit, the room's spinning, all of your motor skills hit the fan, you sound like fucking mush mouth. And then you puke everywhere, just all over the fucking place. Or in my case, all over like the boots of like 6 white guys, like right. And as I'm bent over, manually pumping my stomach, I look up and I see headlights of a badass Honda minivan. And that's my dad and my cousin's mom, my aunt, and they're fucking hot. They roll up and they grab our drunk asses and they throw us in the back of the minivan. It looked like we got arrested in the weakest fucking way. The whole car ride back to where we were staying, silence. The whole next morning when I woke up, hungover as fuck at breakfast, nothing. Until that same morning, my family got in our super cool Honda Odyssey minivan and we started driving back to Arizona. Then, death metal. Just fucking, oh, some dude screaming what I can only assume is fucking satanic death chants, loud as shit. While my dad's over there, all the windows are rolled down, the fucking sunroof is open, I know you'll see this later, and then fucking, that shit's blasting, I'm over here hungover, my head's pounding, super nauseous, and this guy's just losing his shit. And that's when I had that thought that we've all had after like a really long night of drinking and shit. And that's that alcohol is fucking awesome. Don't you love those situations that make you feel like a piece of shit? Like, a couple of days ago, I was at a convenience store just getting some shit, and I saw one of those clear containers, you know, that has like the picture and it's like donate to this, and I'm like, fuck you, because you know they're gonna ask you some question that makes you feel bad. And so I go get all my stuff, and I'm standing in line, and I'm looking at it, and I'm just like, fuck, please don't ask. And I get to the front, and he asks like clockwork. He's like, would you like to donate to, I don't know, you guys can fill in with some sad ass cause.
Toys for Tots.
Yeah, exactly. Toys for fucking tots. And then on the cover of the shit, they have some like hella dark black kid looking real sick and shit. And it's like, your donation could save a life. And then right before he checks out all your stuff, he's like, would you like to donate? It could help save a life. Which doesn't help shit because you already felt guilty, because I was standing in line of that bitch with a 72-ounce soda, 3 different kinds of candy, and one of those generic Viagra pills they sell at the front. For science. And so he asked me that, and I'm like, fuck, how am I going to make up an excuse to say no to this shit? And then my conscience came on the PA in my brain, and he was like, really? Really? You're going to spend $10 on a dick pill? We can't spend $5 for Toys for Tots? And I was like, fuck. Then my dick chimed in and was like, fuck yeah, I took my shit. Yeah. As you can tell, not the blackest of black guys. I don't mean like skin color, I mean more like little aura kind of. And it's bullshit. Here's my theory. So I think that all people are made by God up in heaven, and then he makes them personally and then shoots them down to earth to live life. I just think that maybe I was made at like 4:57 on like a Friday. God had a long week and he was tired and shit, and he was just looking at me and he was like, fuck it, threw some shit on him there. He's like, yeah, he looks black, and then threw me down, got the fuck out of there, he left. Then his angel assistant came in, he's like, wow, God really got the fuck out of here today, better check his last file, make sure he didn't fuck that shit up. And he goes, okay. He was supposed to be black. He got the hair and the skin. And that's it, that's all.